Welcome back. I'm Uday Pratap Singh. You're joining us on NewsX. Our big focus this hour, as per reports, the NCERT is developing a special classroom module on Operation Sindoor to help students learn about India's defense strategy and diplomatic response. The module will have two parts, first for students from class 3rd to 8th and another for classes 9 to 12th. According to sources, the special module prepared by the National Council of Education, Research and Training, known as NCERT, will have 8 to 10 pages focusing on India's strategic military response to the Pahalgam terror attack. So far, it has published 16 special modules till June 2025 on various themes, including Viksit Bharat, Nari Shakti, Vandan, G20 and Chandrayaan Utsav. As we strive to inspire the next generation of leaders, it's crucial to introduce them to the valor and the strength of India's military, and according to sources, that is one of the primary reasons why this module is expected to be incorporated. With that being said, is it time we also include other pivotal military might moments, including the wars of 1962, 1965, 1971 and 1999, as well as some of the more crucial operations that India has carried out, such as Operation Polo of 1948, into our textbooks as well. Joining us to discuss this is Commander Bhushan Dewan, war veteran. We also have Major General Rajan Kochar, defense expert, live with us. Wing Commander Bharat Bhushan, former Indian Air Force officer, is joining us live. Major General Shashi Asthana, former DG Infantry, is also with us on the broadcast. Thank you all for being with us today. Commander Dewan, let me begin with you first. What do you make of this move by NCERT to introduce these new chapters, this new module into the school's curriculum on Operation Sindoor?
Uday, it's a great, highly welcome step. I think any civilization, or for the matter any country, for its security is a paramount concern. And fifth largest, second largest, 140 crores population, every fifth or sixth is an Indian. You know, the security challenges will remain. It's just the right thing that the youth itself, from the very beginning, they are sensitized about this issue. And as you mentioned about the valor and sacrifice, that is one aspect. Also, perhaps the military thinking, war is an important issue. And if you want peace, any country which wants peace should be prepared for war. So this is in a small step, besides NCC and other things, is a right step to sensitize everybody about the war achievements and even the lessons learned. So Operation Sindoor, which is the latest thing, I think the very great highlight about this outcome, about this operation, has been that our indigenous defense technology, indigenous defense manufacturing has really come of age, and it is being looked upon very, very enviously by many countries. And we have to cover a lot of more ground still, because a lot of our armament is still imported actually. But considering the security environment, 4.5 front, Pakistan, China, and you can't move these people anywhere else. Bangladesh and 7,500 kilometers coastline, force fronts, and the internal enemies which remain always. So I think it's very nice initiative and should be continued, so that children are sensitized from the word go. Uday.
Yes, Major General Rajan Kochar, come in here on this move by the government on Operation Sindoor. This is, of course, a new module that will be introduced very, very soon in textbooks. Do you believe this is a welcome move to take the military prowess, the lessons of such operations into curriculums, into classrooms of students?
Thank you, Uday. I mean, I will just like to actually give a dispassionate view to this. Operation Sindoor was not actually a war or an operation in which much can be learned in a 4-day episode. As you rightly said, we have to bring in the earlier wars also, because you see the each war, especially the Kargil one, where the great determination was very, very actually evident in the soldiering which we were actually doing there, and the tales of valor of Captain Vikram Batra, Lieutenant Manoj, and all these war heroes we actually hear about. And yesterday we had the Kargil Divas also. So I think the scope has to be enlarged. That is your point number one. Point number two is that right from a very young age, this children have to be sensitized on understanding the sacrifice of the armed forces, because that is, very important. For the last 7 years, I've been associated with the education sector. I've been a director of institute and things like that. And wherever I go and talk to the students, I find there is a lack of awareness of the armed forces. So I think to that extent, it will be a very welcome step. And slowly, as they graduate in their schools from their primary school, what should be the learning outcomes? Because whenever we start a process like this, we need to understand for the primary school, the learning outcomes are going to be different. For the secondary school, the learning outcomes are going to be different. So, for the primary schools, it has to be based on bravery, unity, teamwork, a love for the nation. And it should be in the form of, short stories, simple maps, which are very, very easy to understand. And it should not be personality based. No political intent actually must actually come out in these modules. And then when we actually go to the secondary or to the senior classes after class 8, ninth, and 10th, then it has to be based on case studies, debates, research projects. You see, we must find the right minds here from the school itself. For example, I'll give you drones. We are taking this, startups are actually doing a wonderful job. So, in case these students buy, especially your class 9 and 10, they are wonderful minds to actually think of innovations, out of the box things. So, I think to that extent, it will be also very good. And my last point is about the pedagogical approach, how these things are required to be disseminated to the students in a very, very interesting manner, because already we are aware they are burdened with so much of material, and so much of information may actually given to them. And WhatsApp also accessible, social media is there. So the pedagogical approach, I would say, has to be very, very important. A teaching of the previous wars, the battle of Panipat, everything is important. And it should be a form, and it should not be taught separately. It should form a part of your history curriculum. It should form a part of your civics curriculum, and it should form a part of your moral science. So once you integrate these subjects with this sort of a content, and I think it would go a long way. And my last point is that we have to start thinking of building a nation right from the young age, because I find that the armed forces is no longer an attractive profession. So I think from this step, we need to also graduate to making armed forces a very, very attractive profession. We have to improve the terms and conditions of the armed forces. We have to improve the image of the armed forces in the nation, and we have to give our soldier the respect in society, because moment you do all these things, I think you'll be able to achieve a larger aim. Uday.
Okay, let me quickly, in fact, bring that to you as well, Wing Commander Bhushan. On this, on this step that the government has taken, do you appreciate this step? Firstly, also, do you believe this is the need of the hour to have military history taught to students at a young age as well? On a personal note, I had gone for a military history seminar, which a boarding school in Dehradun conducts every year. There was so much of attendance there from students, and they were very eager to learn these lessons, and there was a high quality of discussion amongst them. So do you believe more such endeavors, initiatives are needed? And do you believe that starting now with Operation Sindoor, as the government has done, more lessons of more of our conflicts and strategic takeaways should be taught to our students from a young age?
Jai Hind Uday. I would rather go back a little further. I was in school in the 50s. I'm 83 now. I took part in 65 and 71 operations. But my biggest thing that if I go back to my own school time, we didn't even learn much about our Hindu rulers, the people who ruled us, our own history, our own contribution to the scientific and social uh, processes during the earlier years. So therefore, it was a total neglect. And I would also say, not only the military part, but I think it is time that we took pride in our own culture, in our own achievements, and those who contributed to our country's development. Yes, it's a very, very welcome step that the young youth of the country should know the valor and sacrifices and the life that the Fauji lives. At 83, I'm still active in the Fauji community as well as civil, and I do see that people are still asking me what happened in 65, what happened in 71. You were part of that. Now that shows that there's nothing much people know about. Even today, if you ask people Ramayana, Mahabharata, or Pratap's, the soldiers who fought valiantly, and Ranjit Singh ji, or for that matter, Bhagat Singh, I think there's a lot of more knowledge that people should get. There should be a capsule which takes the Indian contribution, mythology, the warriors, the modern wars that we fought those days, and the current ones, that is last 4 5 operations. I think it should be brought to the notice of the younger blood, who should learn and understand, value the freedom, how we achieve freedom. And today, if you want to be free, you must be proud of your nation, you must be ready to fight, you must be ready to contribute, and you must be ready to learn. And this is the youth of today sometimes get digressed from the original path that they want to do, and they are not really. So it's time, I think, the school books or college curriculum, there should be something to do to teach the militarist history plus our own ancient contributions. Uday.
Okay, let me take that to you as well, Major General Shashi Asthana. On this move by NCERT and the government, do you appreciate this development? And how can we take it forward as well, Major General Asthana, to have a far wider curriculum touching upon our Indian military history?
I think it's a very welcome move. It was a move which was very well desired, and it was a move which goes with the thinking of when we say Viksit Bharat, and a Bharat which is secure, safe, and sound and self-reliant. To do that, certainly there is an element of discipline, and there is an element of pride, and there is an element of, shall I say, feeling proud of your whole heritage, culture, achievements. And in that context, I must say that when we talked of, if you recall the theme of Agniveer, there one major point was that we should have disciplined youth churning out of this exercise, and they will in turn perhaps produce a better society. So I think a reminder and a knowledge of what India achieved in the military confrontations, number one. Number two, how India fought for its sovereignty, integrity, national integrity, that is important. And we have been hearing about Mahabharata, how about Ramayana, but these are the Mahabharats and Ramayans of today, and they need to be taken as such, because everything was relevant, every kind of warfare was relevant at a particular point, at a particular time in that context. So therefore, firstly, this is very important and very welcome step. Secondly, not only except with the NCERT books, which is welcome, there is a lot which is happening also, which perhaps the country is not very much aware of. I must highlight few things. Ministry of Defense has also started something called as Veer Gatha portal. My organization, that is United Service Institute of India, is the feeder of that. The project is of MOD. All citations of all the brave hearts of the country, all in all the wars, that is being docketed and is being allowed to be put up on a portal where anybody can approach it. Similarly, all the schools can approach it. And everyone required who wants to learn about what happened with Vikram Batra, what happened with what was the act which he did, and for anybody else that can be approached. Secondly, there is another project which has been started, is battlefield tourism. Now, I was very much impressed when I went to Vietnam at some point of time, where they have highlighted the tourist spots where the battles were fought, and they are very famous tourist places. I'm sure this is being done in India too. So we have again started this project along with the MOD, wherein the battlefield, the normal tourism will be put through with the battlefield tourism, and schools and others, colleges will be encouraged to undertake this tourism. In addition to that, like say whether it is Kashmir, there is no reason why Kargil should not be a tourism spot. So that is what I was yesterday speaking somewhere along with the union minister exactly on the same issue, that we need to develop that as a tourist spot, and other places also, other battlegrounds, because it's a sight to see. You see the amount of tourists who used to go to Wagah border. I'm sure if we develop, let's say Longewala for that matter, exactly at the same place, there would be almost about similar amount of tourists there as well. After seeing border and after seeing various activities, so there is a lot which can be done, which will be motivating, which will generate the spirit of nationalism, which will be and will certainly take the military also closer. Although I mean we are thankful to the country, they have given so much of support throughout every war. I mean I think India gives tremendous amount of support, and so does the
Yes.
media, and so does the people. But this will take perhaps the military and battlegrounds much closer, as a should know and a must know kind of activity. Perhaps as of now, it is only a could know kind of activity. Back to you.
Okay, let me in fact quickly take that to you as well. Once again, Commander Diwan, on which are some of those lessons, episodes in our military history which you believe do merit a wider place in our curriculum, in our in our students' curriculum. Also, what kind of age should they start at? What class or what age?
In fact, the two different modules, differently focused, the way it is being done now for third to eighth and then higher classes is the right way to go about it. I have been fortunate to have been vice chancellor of 3 universities, and besides another directors of some institutions. I want to share with you that in the colleges, like answering your question, two things. Your question first, I'll answer that. I think even the battles during the Mughal times, even the expansion of Chola Empire, Vijayanagar Empire to Southeast Asia, colonization has been done so well by Indians, and wherein the Indians are respected in these countries. I mean, I've served in Indonesia as vice president of TCS. I had 3 years stint I had there. People respect that, we have, Indians have gone there to not capture them, not to be cruel to them, but to really, sensitize them to finer culture, spirituality, religion. The point I'm making is the glorious part of history, even ancient history, medieval history again. No matter there have been mistakes might have been made, and unity was not there. There were judgments or whatever. See, lessons learned means like when you talk about things done well, things not done well. They should be discussed openly. And of course, this is the beginning. And then coming back to the independent 1857 freedom movement, how it was went up very nicely. Then the naval mutiny in 1946, which was a trigger point for independence actually, besides the mobilization done by Mahatma Gandhi, the Garam Dal of Subhash Chandra Bose, and Savarkar saying that people must join military, so they learn military and then they can really teach and give it back to the British. That is how you feel. Weevil said that we left India not because of really the peace satyagraha, but we left because we were scared that the Indian soldiers are now going to hit the British officers and we have to run away. I'm just saying that the interpretation is very important rather than a story. And the point I'm saying that we're talking about, let's say, Israel. Israel is, let's say, is kept is uh, uh, from all sides. So many enemies it has. Similarly, we have so many enemies around us. And the point is, we are saying that every Israeli citizen is, militarily up to date and so on. So this is only a beginning, that you sensitize people to say that, like we say, equality is everybody's concern. Going forward, the way wars are, security and defense, everybody's concerned. Look at the sleeper cells in a country. I can walk away, oh, it's not my duty. That is wrong. Tomorrow when there will be a cyber attack, I'll be impacted. Tomorrow when there'll be a disaster management drill, people are scared. Oh my God, how the hell am I? This is a military's job. It is everybody's job. And that is how the war is going to be fought now. And like war, the Brahmaputra flooding being created by China. So this is too important a subject. And but sensitization is only beginning. Like we have debating clubs, we have clubs in the educational institution. There should be military history clubs, military games clubs. I mean, this is the beginning. Going forward, NCC doesn't have much budget. Going forward, our teachers and the education ecosystem has to get into defense Atmanirbhar in big time. So Atmanirbhar is technology also. Atmanirbhar is sensitization for strategy also. I mean, today we know it. India doesn't even have a national security doctrine. So after Kargil review, this is one of the prominent things stated there by Subramaniam committee. It's not been done still. So there are many things we have to catch up. And see, they say history is written by the victors. The British have written so many things, and somehow, whatever reason has been there, the history about the Akbar was great, and Rana Pratap was not great. That is not being read. Vijayanagar Empire was such an expansion, such a nice empire, and such a beautiful, great thing they have done. Enterprise. Now we are all become inward looking. So the point is, there's only a beginning. Really, it had to be ramped up big time so that 15% of the expenditure of the government is on defense. We need to get people involved. So this is a good beginning, but it is only a beginning, a nice beginning. It should be ramped up in a big way, big time, in a customized way in every city, in every culture, in every region, in different fashions.
Okay, let me in fact quickly take that to you as well, Major General Kochar, for a quick last word on why we haven't done this though so far. There are countries across the world which do teach this from a young age, their military history. Many countries in Europe and other parts of the world do this. There are countries that still have, of course, compulsory military service. Why can't we at the basic levels instill this in our students, even if we don't have compulsory service? But why not at least teach these strategic lessons to them? It will hold them good if they do decide to join the security forces, but it will also hold them good for whatever careers they take up, isn't it?
I totally agree with you. They see today we have a university which has been established by the police services in Ahmedabad in Gujarat. We have a university which has been set up by the Ministry of Railways. But we don't have a University of the Defense. And if I actually give you example of the United States, they have their own University of Defense from where they are churning out, technology. Today, if technology is there with the United States, especially in defense sector, it is because they are nurturing those young people, giving them opportunity, research and development. So my main concern here is that we do not devote much attention to research and development, and that is why we are not been able to become Atmanirbhar all this time. You have 1.6% of your GDP only coming to the defense budget, and only 0.6% of the GDP is towards research and development. So my actually concern is that our young students are not finding the opportunity within the country to do the research and development, and that is why they're going outside. And we talk about this brain drain happening, and we keep on talking about it, but we don't do anything about it. And that is why it is extremely important. I understand it's a democratic system. The politics also has to come into play. You have to look at your vote banks also. And you know that defense is not a captive actually vote bank for you. So you would not like to spend money on the other schemes money is going about. But at the same time, the security, the national security of the nation, it cannot be compromised. We keep on hearing ke Kargil ho gaya, Galwan ho gaya, uske baad Pahalgam ho gaya.
Yes.
So all these things are happening. So a sort of a critical view.
Okay.
You see, I'm not criticizing or I'm not making a political statement.
Yes.
But a critical view of all these things need to be taken on.
All right. We've run out of time, I'm afraid. Let's leave it at that. My thanks to our guests for joining us.